Still snoring. This is gonna be another one that's just a bunch of little stuff all kind of lumped together. Yesterday when I posted that one of my cars, so crazy because, you know, the short things has all these different viewers. You know, it's not like people that come in and listen to me. I don't even know the people that listen to me talk go in and watch the shorts. The shorts is like a different audience, but it's what gives you more views faster, which fucks with their algorithm. You know, you gotta fuck with the algorithm. So, anyways, you know, people don't know anything about me. They'll still, you know, feel like it's a good opportunity to comment because, you know, their opinions are important, and they need to share them, just like I'm doing. But I don't know. I don't know why the direction is like to put people off from their opinions. Like, you know, let me be having my opinion. Why are you trying to, you know, overtake my opinion with your opinion? Leave me be. So this, you know, where my car is, I mean, anybody who would watch me would know because I've showed different things around here, is, you know, I have the carport over it. It's in the trees, and it is, and I had just driven the day before, and then, you know, my driveway is pretty long off the road, not like super long. I mean, everything is, depends on what you're measuring it to, you know, everything in life. Everything's a spectrum. Everything depends on what you're measuring. So I could say a long driveway. Some people are going to, you know, picture a real long driveway because they went on a driveway one time that was so long, and that's what they're going to picture, you know. And some people picture, you know, neighborhoods having the short driveways, and then they'll think, oh, it's longer than that. That's where it is. It's like 2 to 3 times like a regular neighborhood driveway, you know. It's like a couple of car lengths going back. So, anyways, when I was out there yesterday cleaning, because, you know, they gave us the artificial sun, we got to appreciate it. So I went out there and, you know, was cleaning the yard, raking from all the windstorms and shit, cleaning up dog poop, all of that. And then I was noticing, God, my car looks weird. Why does it look so weird? And I was going up closer and I was like, looks like there's pollen all over my car. So I start looking around everywhere. Is there pollen everywhere? Like, what the hell is going on? You know, climate change, you know, it could come at any time. I mean, you know, pollen could come in the fucking snowstorm. Who knows? You know, when they're controlling stuff and trying to make us think a certain way, that any old crazy shit, and especially right now, I mean, the crazy shit, and it still is not waking people up. It's mind-boggling. So when I was out there, you know, and I was looking, I was like, this is weird. So I went and I pushed my finger through it because I was seeing, is this the color of my car? And I put my finger through it, and now I was looking at the windshield, and I was like, no, it's covered with something. And so I did it. I was like, this is weird. This isn't dust. I just drove my car. Plus, out here where it's moist and then rainy and our ground is sopping wet and it's all in the trees, there's just, you'd be more likely to find pine needles all over your car than dust. Like, there's not dust. I've had this broken car sitting here. You know, it's like my decoy car because people think you're at home. So I've had my old car sitting here, and it doesn't have dust on it. It's been sitting there for freaking 2 years, I think. I don't know, 1.5 years, whenever it was I got this car, the other car. And so I was like, okay, there's no pollen on this car. There's no dust on this car. There's no pollen or dust or anything anywhere. So what the hell is this? And I saw some people were like, oh, it's the salt. All right, well, I live rurally. We don't have roads like that. We don't even get, we don't get salt on our road. We don't get people coming out plowing our roads. What? We barely even have a road. I was like, what the hell? But, you know, I mean, they got to let me know because I probably didn't even think of that myself, you know, so yeah. And the last time, you know, when I had taken notice of the spraying, and everybody was like in so denial, and I was sitting out all in the summer, and I said, then all of a sudden there started being like these spray, I mean, we got the fucking things going over us all the goddamn time, and they fuck with the weather. I mean, we are 100% under that umbrella of water or weather control, and, you know, whatever they do, they spray shit. So on all of the trees everywhere, they had like, it looked like splatters had gone on all these trees, and they had these like splatters where everything, it looked like it was dying on all these trees. And even when I started pointing it out to people, they're like, oh, that's the weak limb disease. Yeah, everybody, all the trees are getting that. It's like, really? So it happened overnight? And then remember the pine needles, just all the pine needles fell down in the middle of the summer. I was like, what the fuck? I was having to go out and rake and rake and rake. It looked like it was snowing in the fucking yard. I was like, okay, this is artificial. This is chemical bullshit. And so, whatever's out there is something that they sprayed. If they sprayed in the road and it sprays out, I don't know how they do it, but there's definitely evidence. There's something in my car. I could go and take it, because I've even thought about doing this with the water. But even if you go to a lab and ask for something to be analyzed, unless you have a direct contact that you can trust, and they can come back and say anything. I don't even trust the lab results that when I went a few weeks back and got my lab drawn, and then they come back, oh, this is all out of whack. No. Nope. They're trying to, as far as I'm concerned, they're trying to, pull me in because they want to get rid of old sick people. And I'm a burden to the government. They have to pay me, even though they don't pay me very much, but they have to pay me, and I don't do shit for them. As a matter of fact, I do this. I try and get everybody to understand what's going on. So, yeah, I don't know. These people, they just try and come up with a reasonable explanation. They can't let their mind go outside of the box of a reasonable explanation. And, that's trapped. That is the third density trap, and it is bizarre because I'll think about, like, this morning when I was taking a shower, and I was thinking about like different stuff I would say, and it was like, man, it's hard to figure out how to present things, because all these different conversations, when I see how people are so trapped in this third density way of thinking, and their minds are being manipulated. So it's not even them thinking it. They're just trapped in a trap of mind control. So I was thinking, like, it's difficult because, like, the stuff I know and understand is more complex or deeper. And it's like, I just had this image of, I'm using this little worm trying to catch a big old bass. And it is kind of like, it's hard. It doesn't make any sense. So anyways, I just gotta just keep on talking the way I talk, and either you get it or you don't get it. And, I feel bad for the people who are so stuck in the mind control, but also they're allowing it for themselves. They're not questioning a motherfucking thing. And I was really bothered last night. Like, there was a couple people, I was outside, so I was doing stuff, and so I had my headphones in, and listening to music, because I like to dance around the yard, and I don't give a fuck what people think. And so I have my headphones, I'm dancing and raking, and so when I saw the stuff on the car, in order to talk on my phone, I had to turn off my headphones. And so when I turned off the headphones, it made a noise as it switched into the microphone. All these people, instead of looking at the car and thinking, oh man, could the government be spraying stuff? Have I heard that before? No. Did you fart? Did you just fart? Did she fart? Oh, I think she sharted. I was like, okay, for one thing, is something wrong with your hearing that you can't tell the difference in a human fart and technological tweaking sound? Like, it sounds like, I don't know, maybe these people's farts are robotic. I don't know. It's very bizarre, though. It's very bizarre. And where their minds go. It's like, how old are you? 15? Like, what in the hell? And so I was talking to my friend, and I was like, some of this ignorance is really, I'm finding it is repelling me. I'm like, I am just so disgusted by people who just, they just participate. They just play along. It doesn't matter if the game makes no sense. They don't feel like, oh, let's not even question the rules. Maybe we should read the rule book. No, let's just play along. Whatever you say goes. It's like, what the fuck? I was really in a mood last night. I was like, oh my God, this is hopeless. This is hopeless. And that's why I was in the morning just thinking in the shower, like, how do you even talk to them? How do you get people to understand what the truth is when they're so fucking mind trapped? They can't fucking think for themselves. They can't, you can't burrow in there and give them a seed so that they can fucking maybe water it. I don't know. It's just, I was really frustrated. But, slept it off because that's the beauty of a brain injury. Stuff just goes away. But, so much can just go away. I mean, not, somebody actively trying to kill you, but a lot of things can just go away. It depends on what you focus on, and I'm going to be a little alert when someone's trying to kill me and poisoning me. Oh, and which, by the way, cheese is, I know about the fish thing. I know about the mercury and all that stuff. Oh, my neck is just still. I did order a mattress pad and a pillow. So, I cannot wait. Oh my God, I can't even move my head. And, but I don't hardly ever eat that. I mean, like, it could build up. But when my stomach starts going like crazy, so I did take a pill the other day. It was a pill that I had from a long time ago when I was super sick. And, I had 18 pills. There was a few that I kept. I was like, well, just in case. So I kept them. So they're old and expired. But, when you go and you eat something and, it goes from top to bottom in 1 second, then, like, okay, my stomach's on high alert. It's like, on the WhatsApp, when you hit the little thing and all of a sudden the person's talking real fast. That's what it, feels like. And the same way as like, they can be talking like regular and then all of a sudden, that's what it feels like, like your GI is just all of a sudden going, and it starts, it starts hurting. It's like going crazy. It's like overly active. And these pills slow it down. It just slows it down. Same thing like if you took, I don't know, probably Pepto-Bismol or what's the other? There's another pill that a lot of people take. It's something for diarrhea, but I can't take any of that kind of stuff because it will make me just stop going to the bathroom for however long. So I don't want to take any of that stuff. And so, these pills just like slow it down. So see, this is the thing. This is my point is, so they give you the little magic pill. It works like magic, because it is directly going to this place to do, to do its work. And so the whole problem is when it goes in and does that work, it affects other things. So, it can slow this down, but it is got some sort of toxin or chemical or whatever that goes into your body that the rest of your body has a hard time with processing it or getting rid of it or whatever, So the chemicals affect different parts of our body, different organs. It can affect your blood. It can affect, how you lose or gain weight. It can affect your thyroid. All these systems that are very intricate inside your body that all need one to do this, to do this, to do that. They all just, it's a domino effect, in your body all the time. You don't ever have to stop and think like, oh, did I remember to breathe today? You may need to stop and remember if you remember to eat or drink something, which the other thing too is, like, if you are really wanting to lose weight, I'm telling you, just go into your emergency food. Just live off your emergency food. It's real easy to stop eating. And right now it's not an emergency, but I just bought all of that wood because that opportunity arose. So I got that wood, and that was my, money to buy groceries for the rest of this until I get paid next week. So, I'm on the emergency food diet, and it just is like, I don't want to eat that again. Ugh. So I think the thing that why people, gain so much weight and stuff is, well, for one thing, portions. For another thing, people aren't active enough. And And they always, if you're going to go out and look for something to eat, you're going to go look for something to eat good. You're not going to just like be eating to survive. So it's completely different. And, but it's all in the way you look at things. It's how you see things. So, you look at food like, oh, I'm going to have this, it's so good, and then devour it. And then, some people have like several meals a day and lots of snacks and a lot of stuff, and then they are like, I'm so confused why I'm overweight. And then somebody like me, and then they are like, oh, this person, they're anorexic. You're anorexic if you don't eat like the way the government tells you to eat. I was like, oh, I kind of think I'm just gonna listen to my body. But so it could be the fish, could be the mercury buildup, I don't know. If something happens like that, I'll go back and think like, okay, what did I eat? And what was I doing? What was going on? And I really think it was this stuff with, because I really have a lot of people in my family who have got shit going on, a lot of shit going on. And, and if it's your kids, it's going to stress you out. So, yeah, I think it was just, all of these people, oh, this and this and that, calling you. And, you're sitting there trying to talk to people, solve their problems, get them to see a different perspective. And, your stomach's just churning away like, slow down, girl, slow down. It's like, wait, I got to save the world. So, anyways, it was, that's stuff for me to learn to, I can't get all caught up in everybody's stuff and wanting to, save them. But it's really hard because when you know stuff, and other people don't, it's hard not to share your stuff, but most people don't want to know it until they're ready to know it. So even if you're telling them, I can sit there and try and tell them, well, look at it like this, what about this? And there always becomes a point, okay, you're just too crazy. Okay, I've heard enough. Like, yes, but death is not real, So, there was another thing too. Oh, yeah. So, my daughter is going, back home. She had gone on her adventure. Her adventure was it was stormy water adventure. And so she's going back home and see, where that takes her. But, she has to get employment. And so she already has friends sending her, little job things. And of course, required. And I said, don't do it. You're going to be sorry if you do it. And oh my God, that turned into the longest thing. And this is the thing. Is, and this was all done on purpose. Like, people just can't they can't wrap their heads around, like, how something's sprayed on a car. It's awesome, it's dust. They can't wrap their head around that, somebody's actively trying to kill them and they aren't noticing. Like, their spidey senses are not working. They've got no internal thing turning on because, the government has done really well at turning it off. And, so when it wasn't meant to drop dead that instant. The people who have, I think that's why they're trying to hide it so much, because that's not what they wanted. They wanted him to be everybody dropping dead, over the next year, over the next 2 years, over the next 3 years. Like, I don't know if they have like a time thing on that, Georgia Guidestone or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know if they have like within 5 years we will be to our goal. I don't know. They've got goals, but they're not going to reach them. But so it was meant to be a slow roll, to have people drop dead. Oh, well, they're just older. They just got seizures now. Oh, they got a heart attack now. Like, my friend in Australia was telling me, like, this really well-known cricket player just dropped dead. 52 years old or 51 years old, just dropped dead. And then they're calling it a heart attack. And, I'm not going to talk about what was attacking his heart because, that would be, the news would be on our side. Wow, we couldn't expect that. So but people started saying, oh my gosh, when you get to be 50, you got to go out and you got to get your heart checked, people. Make sure, like, people just believe it. Like, oh, 50, that's pretty old. Yeah, you probably got heart problems. You're going to have heart problems because you're born with them or you don't take care of yourself. If your heart is defective in some way, and then you take certain chemicals that attack what's defective in you, and then, yeah, you're going to fucking drop dead. So they don't, I mean, it goes along with the narrative, kind of, you know, they want everybody to think they're old by the time they're 25. As soon as, I mean, I think their preferred age range is probably like 8 or 9, like I saw in that movie. You know, they like them young. But they need some to get to an age to have more. But they don't really need, they just need the eggs because they're going to retrieve and lab create. They're not going to be like, you know, like in The Handmaid's Tale. Here, we've got our breeders over here. We'll just keep them in the place and sell them or whatever. Sell their kids, whatever. It's not going to be so much like that. It would be egg retrieval, you know, the ones that are capable still of continuing the human race, because that's how they promote it. You know, it's all about their campaigns and their slogans. They got the slogans and the campaigns. So they, so then they would have, you know, most of the people. I mean, because right now those are sterilizing. You know, people are. There's so many things that people have problems with right now and they don't know, because you can have a lot of problems inside your body but you can't see through it, so you don't know what's going on inside. And most people have just adapted to not feeling good and stuff because we're so poisoned all the time. People are just used to it. And so when they're going and taking these, and you know, they've got all these people, so you know, I'm getting back, well, everybody I know is, and nobody's having problems. So I bring up my brother. Well, coincidentally, what he has done and, you know, what he's taken is probably the P up, you know what I'm saying? Because it's coming out so much right now of how many people are dropping dead from seizures and having seizure problems and stuff like that. So it's probably, you know, that's probably was his choice of poison. And so, but when I said that, no, that couldn't be it. No, I'm glad he's okay, but you know, that would be it. Why wouldn't that be it? What are the odds? Like, I'm not a gambler. I've never been a gambler. Like, if I've gone and spent $20 gambling, I feel like, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted that money. I'm just not a gambler. And I'm not going to gamble with my health. Maybe I did back in the day when I believed Western medicine was here to help us. But, you know, it showed me that it was not here to help us. It's here for making money. And so, you know, as long as this is going where, you know, I said, well, what would it take? Like, you need like 100, 200 people to drop dead just instantaneously on the road, and then you might question something. And that's what I said. Everybody just starts being like, oh my God, just stop. I can't talk to you anymore. It's like, is your brain getting tired? Am I trying to make it work too hard? So, you know, that's what I feel like. It's like, what in the hell? So I'm just going to blindly go take this because everyone else did, because, you know, I wonder where they get the idea of sheeps and lemmings and, wonder how they figured out how to control our minds. Oh, it's weird, huh? So, you know, I mean, it's heartbreaking, and I'm like, well, you know, if you're going to do it, you're going to end up regretting it. But since everybody else has done it, you know, I'll just be with them. It's like, it reminds me kind of back in the day when people, there was a whole era, I swear, where it was like, well, I'm going to hell with all my friends, you know, me and my friends are all going to hell, and I'll see you in hell, and we'll be in hell together, and all this stuff, you know, because everybody is just like, well, we're going to be there together anyways, doesn't matter. So, you know, but it does, because it's going to affect every single person differently. It depends on what's weak in your body. And it's really sad is because she's got so much autoimmune disease and heavy metal allergies and stuff, and she has so many physical problems already. I just gotta just not think about it. I've gotta, if I'm gonna tell other people to accept death as a transition, I've gotta, walk the walk. And I can't put energy towards something that I don't know for sure what's gonna happen if it's gonna be negative. So I've gotta just stay being positive. But, all of these different conversations and comments and stuff like that is just like, oh my gosh. Are we moving forward, people? Are we opening our minds? Because this world is not what you think it is. It is so frustrating. And, another thing too is, part of their whole mind control, is to get us to chase something. Like chase, you see it, so many people chasing fame, wealth, power, whatever, that's what you're born to do. You're born to try and chase wealth, chase, power, whatever these things are that people feel so, it's all being led to keep them to chase these different things, because not everybody's here for the same thing. I mean, seriously, does everybody think like we're all born to be famous? We're all born to be famous. And it's just a competition who can be more famous. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Everybody is born for different reasons, to go through different things. You have definitely would have spent lives being rich and famous. Everybody has spent all these different lives. You've been rich and famous. You've been a murderer. You've been a robber. You've been a victim. Like, you play it all out. You are all things. You've done all things. But why in the world would you just be chasing something that is not for you in this life? It will unfold. It will happen for you if it's supposed to happen. You don't have to, humiliate yourself and do stupid ass shit. Like fucking Jackass has a new movie out. It's like, god damn. I mean, if it, like, this is the role models for some of these people. Like, this is idiocracy. Like, people would watch that movie, because I've heard a lot of people watch that movie and be like, oh my god, can you believe how stupid people are? Like, look in the fucking mirror. Like, do you see what the fuck is going on here? Like, you are living it. You are in idiocracy, and you are one of those people. So, I don't know. It is very frustrating, because everybody's mind is just so, 3D bound. It's just chained down to the 3D. And when you start, expanding your mind and looking at things differently, it's not like you have to, go out there and saw yourself off. It just happens. You just pull free from it, and you start seeing it, and you start seeing through it, and then you start understanding it, and then you just are like, you see it's not for you. So, we got a ways to go. I'm just, I'm shocked. I know that there's a lot of people who are waking up, and a lot of people who are understanding, at least have the draw, the desire to understand and learn more, and to try and understand what this crazy world is all about, which it's all about. Just, you're out of school, you are a soul, you've had all sorts of experiences, you're here for this experience so that you as a projection can be witnessed by your higher self, your oversoul, or whatever, so it can see and experience, so it can grow. So you're just a little avatar. You're just a little toy. But as the toy, you get so caught up, like in Toy Story or whatever. You're so caught up. I'm alive. And but you are here. You have a set destination. You have a set script. Everything is going to happen the way it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. Every fucking time. Nothing is going to, you can't throw anything off from what's going to happen. But people sit there and stress out like, oh my God, I got to make this happen. I got to make that happen. You don't have control like that. All you can do is be focusing on what is positive. Like, look at things instead of getting so down and, looking at all the negative about every situation. Because I'm telling you, I have a lot of conversations, and I can see where people focus their energy, what they look at in a situation. And even when I try and point out different things, like I said, try and point out different perspectives, people find it very irritating because they want to just see their perspective. And if it's, making them feel like shit about themselves, or making them feel really low or whatever, they don't think they have control over that. They're just willing to accept that, like, oh, well, that's just the way it is. No, that's the way you think it is, because you can change how you look at it. You can look at things as like, oh, it's like I was saying about losing the job. You can be like, oh, I'm rejected once again, or you can be like, hell yeah, I'm released to go find my truth. So it all depends on how you look at things, and that makes up where your lessons are, what you're being taught. So, if you are, I think it's about learning, but everybody's soul is different, but learning how to transition kind of from the negative into the positive. So you can learn how self-defeating it is if you just keep focusing on like something's wrong with you, you're rejected, nobody wants you, people don't even want you to work, even when you're, all of the different things, because we get it spinning out in our head. And when you start focusing on, oh, if this all happened for something good, what is the good things? What good things are happening from this? And sometimes you might not see it for a while, but you got to trust, like, I know something good will come from this because I'm here to experience it, and I'm here to learn. And so this will teach me what I'm here to learn. So there's a positive, but, people don't approach life in that way. They approach it, like everything here's an accident. You're just born into some body, and then you are supposed to follow the rules, do what you're told, and, give them free energy, because all you do is, participate in their game. You give them players. So, if they don't have any players in their game, what are they going to do? It's us pulling free, seeing through this illusion and questioning things. It's so simple, but yet people are so stuck. And I really don't know how to unstuck people. I mean, I've got so many in my family. And, so I think about this stuff, and I try and have conversations. I try and point out things that are logical, that make sense. And it's like they see past it. Their mind can't be captured by things they don't understand. It's like, it's too much. Like, they can't comprehend what to them is incomprehensible because they can't even fucking hear it. I'm telling you, it's like watching Charlie Brown talking to his parents or something, it's just wah, 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 wah. And that's all they hear. Nothing goes in, it makes sense. And so it's very frustrating. And it is easy to think like, are they all just stupid? Like, what the hell? I mean, it's pretty bad when me and my mom are sitting here talking. It's like, man, I mean, how can we have this many people in our family that are this in it, and this brainwash, this, this willing to participate into this whole nonsense? I don't know. I just don't know. I just feel like I'm just going to keep coming in and keep trying to talk about what life really is. And as people, awaken, I'm sure that, whoever's meant to find me will find me, because, things are going to happen the way they're supposed to happen, when they're supposed to happen, how they're supposed to happen. It's always going to happen that way. There's no getting free from that. You are on a script. You're always going to say and do what you're going to say and do, even if you feel like it's not coming, like it's not programmed into you, but it is programmed into you. It's in your imprint. It's like part of your birthing process is the imprint. Even if you have a veil, you have inner knowing, you have inner knowledge, And, you know, through the awakening, you get in touch with your inner knowing, your inner knowledge. It's like, if you think about, like, I'm not a Trekkie or a Star Wars person or something, but it just popped into my head. But, you know, like an old decrepit machine that isn't doing much, but then you turn it on and then it starts coming to life. And that is like what your imprint is like. You know, it's not an old decrepit machine, but it's something that hasn't been turned on. And then when you turn it on, all of a sudden you start realizing things and knowing things and understanding things and seeing things differently. And that is, you know, what I keep trying to tell people. You know, I only can see to turn it on by pulling free from what has mind control over you right now. And that is the 3D, you know, the third density mind control. And, you know, if you can't, you just have to question things. You just have to, you know, overcome your biases and listen to people. You know, people are just, they trap themselves. They keep themselves trapped in ignorance. And it is, you know, it's hard to see, but I understand that it's every soul is on its own journey and every soul is going through these different experiences to wake them up. And there is souls that are, you know, not every soul's at the same level in their education system. Not that they're not, I mean, all souls are the same. So of course, what would make sense for you to want to go out and to become better, you know, to figure out who you are as an independent consciousness, because all souls are, you know, energy. It's not like good energy or bad energy. It's just what that energy is focused on. So, you know, if you just, let me think for a second. I think of what it was that, so that if that positive and negative energy, oh, I can't remember. Just all of a sudden just went out of my head. It'll come back after I turn this off and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But anyways, the positive and the negative is, it isn't even going to be, like, you have to have positive and negative, right, for energy. You have, in order to make a charge. So you have both things inside of you. And when you are incarnated, you're going to play both, you're going to play with both things. You know, that's why you're going to be the bad guy for some people, the good guy for some people. And, you know, in your life, you've come to experience and play, you know, some pretty dark roles for other people. But that is what this schooling is all about. And it's just the same as if you went and did a bunch of plays. And every play, you know, you did like say you did a Fitzgerald play, you did a Shakespeare, you did, you know, some other writers, Mark Twain, you know, you did some, and every one you went and did, when you were playing your part, you learned something. There was something you learned from that, playing that part. That's what life is. That's all life is. And people think it's so much different than that. That's all it is. You're just coming in to learn and play the part. And when you're up there, or wherever you think your soul is, right there next to you, up there, whatever. Because you have a part of your soul in you. It's your energy that's charging you, that keeps you going, that keeps you connected. But some people have severed their connection. They don't know they're connected to something else. But your oversoul, your bigger part of, your bigger aspect of self is what is watching you. But that is the one who designs, like, goes in and writes the plays with the other people in the play. So that is where you come up with the contracts, like all these contracts that get developed. And that's why I say there's no, you know, like you're going to do something different than you were always going to do, because where are the players? It's all planned out. If you're in here and you don't have players and you don't have people you are contracted with, then what would you be doing? You know, it doesn't, everything you're doing is so you can do that with the players that you're playing with. And it was all written by you guys to come in so you could experience it. So, you know, it's not Shakespeare's play. It's not Mark Twain's. It's not F. Scott Fitzgerald's. It's, you know, it's yours. And so many people are fighting it and angry and upset. And why is life doing this to me? And, you know, but you did it to yourself because you wanted to learn, you know, and some people, so you could see what a badass you are. You can go through some shit and you can still come out the other side. So it is, that was a horrible image that came into my head. So, anyways, you know, I'm just going to keep trying to get people to understand what this life is all about so that they can release all of this pain and suffering they find from trying to control things that they don't have control over. And to, you know, be angry at people who are there to play a role for you. And, you know, you're hating them, you're giving them this energy. But so as a soul, as an energetic source, you go through these different experiences embodied so that you can develop yourself, so you can understand yourself. So you as a soul group can understand your soul group. So it goes up, 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 you know, and that's why a lot of times why people are alive, they feel so disconnected. They feel so alone because you are away from, you know, there is a separation. Your body is a separation from who and what you are. So of course it's going to feel like, you know, you're disconnected and you don't know where you belong and you don't understand yourself. But this is so you can understand yourself. So the more you release control, the more you just relax, go with the flow, watch where the world is taking you, watch what is going on. And when bad things happen, don't focus on what the pain was, focus on the lesson, focus on what things you could be learning from this, because it is for expansion. It's not to degrade you and beat you down. It's so you can expand. And, you know, the most troubling and painful things bring the most expansion. So that's why I say, you know, if you're going through a lot, it's because you're a badass and you know, your ego was a little out of control and thought you could take on more than you could. But everything in life is developed by you, even if you can't remember. And, you know, and everything that's going on right now is so you have this opportunity to pull free from this three-dimensional mind control, you know, as a consciousness babysitter. Think of it like that. It's just the babysitters of consciousness until it gets to a point of being like, I'm ready for the next level. You know, who and what am I? I'm ready to move up. So, and, you know, some souls aren't. And I don't know. You know, it's funny because I would think like there would be all people who I would be around that would be like me. And we'd be all having all these, you know, intense, crazy conversations. But instead, it is, I'm around so many people who are so brainwashed and so mind controlled, and I'm trying to, you know, help them see that. And it's very frustrating to most people. It's a safety blanket. It's a safe place because your consciousness is being babysat, and they don't want to realize, well, your consciousness is being babysat by fucking serial killers, like, you know, monsters, blood-sucking, skin-eating baby. Yeah. This is not who you want controlling your mind. It's time to take control of your mind yourself. So think about that, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.